You're listening to the Pepper and Me podcast, Around the Dinner Table with Cherie, Cam and Lorne, where we chat all things food and business.
Welcome back to Around the Dinner Table. We're up to, episode 11 now?
Yes, welcome back to you.
Thanks.
You've missed the last two podcasts, so I've completely changed the structure now.
Oh, really?
Yes. Everything you've got's probably completely irrelevant.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we're doing a different podcast now.
Okay, so you run it then. My name's Lorne, you're Cherie.
I'm Cherie, this is my podcast. Welcome,
Back to you.
huge welcome to my guest Lorne this week.
Thank you. I've been away for a good reason, though.
I know, are you going to tell everyone? Would you like to share your news with everyone?
Oh, yeah, I'm a dad of two now. So we've got not another newborn, we have a newborn.
Congratulations. Yes.
Yeah, so had a couple of weeks off there looking after him. But everything's going well and he's mostly sleeping, so we're happy.
He's so good.
He's cool.
Yeah, very great. Yeah, reasonable reason to have a few weeks off.
I think so.
All right, we'll do it on the plate. I've got so much, but I'll just try and have to
Cut it down?
Yeah.
Do one or two things?
Yeah, I know. I've just been so many places because I've just been to Hawke's Bay.
Oh, yeah, you had a really cool trip.
And we had like a food trip to Hawke's Bay, yeah. And I picked two places from Hawke's Bay. We went to Craigie Range. I've always wanted to go to Craigie Range. Never been. It's been like one of my life to-do lists. And it was exceptional, amazing. Like, you must go. Put it on your bucket list. They have it was a degustation. It was a maybe 4 or 5 course degustation with 3 canapes. So a very long lunch. And it was $95.
Oh, that's not bad.
Isn't that good?
Yeah.
So I just got told today that the 12 ribs at Lone Star are $52.50.
For 12 ribs?
For 12 ribs.
And
I just went and had a 7-course degustation at Craigie Range for $95.
Jeepers. If that tells you where you need to go and visit and eat some food, it's Craigie Range.
I know. Well, I just think everyone's like, oh, it's like so excessive, but that's not.
That's not?
At all.
No,
yeah, it's the alcohol that costs money.
Right.
So.
Right. What's a glass of wine, like $20?
I don't know, actually. I actually don't know. Yeah, we got a bottle of rosé and then we had a couple of cocktails, but yeah, it was good. Anyway, so Craigie Range, cool. Great. Put it on your bucket list. Get down to Hawke's Bay and visit them because they the business it was 90% fine.
Yep.
But I think people need support. The businesses need support. So I did my winter shopping and went to all the hospital places. The other place that I went to is a new place called 495 Wine Bar. And it's called 495 because the guy that owns it is the 495th Master of Wine in the world.
Oh.
So there's only 495 Masters of Wine in the world.
Yep.
You have to know every single thing about wine.
I've seen like TikToks about Masters of Wine.
Yeah.
And like the dude like sniffs the wine. He's like, oh, this comes from this grape, from this province, from this
from that
year.
region. Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is a 2000 wine from blah, blah, blah.
So insane, like insane. I went with Yvonne Lorcan, who's the wine writer for the Herald. She's probably one of New Zealand's top wineries. She has the Wine Friend subscription and she writes the blurbs on my bottles of wine and then she does a food pairing with them. So she's very, very big wine buff. And she's just great personality, great person to drink wine with, basically. But anyway, we had lots of food there. It was all incredible. My favourite was the beef short rib on a polenta. And it was like a really cheesy, buttery polenta. It was just outstanding. There was a tuna dish. Everything was amazing, but very cool little new place to go in Hastings.
Was the beef short rib like a couple of ribs like cooked together, or were they individually cut, or was it like meat?
I think it was 2.
Yeah.
2.
And it came with the bones in?
Yeah, bone in. And the polenta was it was just so soft. And it had the most rich jus I've ever tasted in my life. Plus a herb, almost like a salsa verde situation to freshen it up a lot as well. Yep. So you had the richness. It was just amazing. And we ate we got 8 dishes, but we just had one at a time. Just bring us one dish at a time and we'll all have a bite.
For 10, 15 minutes to the next one.
Absolutely loved it. And we went to a cafe called Brother Cafe. Great pastries, really, really good cafe, well worth a visit. Those were my 3 food highlights from Hawke's Bay. And then the week before I was in Auckland, and I went back to Amano, and I haven't been there for 5 years. Have you ever been to Amano?
Don't think so.
It's like an institution of Auckland. It's very, very good Italian food, but it's been there forever, so you kind of forget about it. And we had a whipped parmesan. So there's kind of a bread and cheese section. There's a mozzarella, a burrata, a whipped parmesan, and then a focaccia with sort of thing. Yep. And they all sound quite basic, but they're not basic at all. They're completely different, but amazing, mind-blowingly amazing. But the whipped parmesan, I've been trying to figure out how they make the whipped parmesan. It was like a thick whipped feta, so like a quenelle.
I don't imagine how you would whip parmesan.
I know. I've been trying to figure out how they do it. So I reckon they and maybe shave a lot of parmesan into like a yogurt. And then maybe kind of Thermomix it till it's super smooth, and then turn it into like a labneh.
Right.
So strain it all out
and let the yogurt kind of thing. Like,
yes, and then you're left with like a thick labneh, quite strongly flavoured with parmesan, and that was served with beautiful fresh focaccia. And that's just something I've never seen before in my life, so I thought it was worth a mention.
Nice.
And if you're in Auckland and you've forgotten about Amano, go back there out the gate. It's so good.
Nice.
So good.
Nice.
Those are my 3 plates. Yeah.
Good work. Well, I've not eaten out because I've been at home with the newborn. So my plate is stuff that I've been cooking at home, and I did beef short ribs. That's why I was asking about that just the other weekend. And I did pulled pork, so I did like a pork shoulder on the barbecue. Smoked it, I guess, for like 4 or 5 hours, and then put it into like a roasting dish with tinfoil, covering it with some sweet bourbon sauce, and it was actually insane. Like, I've always loved the slow cooker pulled pork.
Yeah, because we always do slow cooker pulled pork.
But you just...
different thing, eh?
Completely different on the barbecue.
I know.
Completely different.
Yeah,
so I've got another couple of shoulders so I can cook them up and bring them into work and show them off.
Oh, that'll be so good.
But it was so good.
Yeah.
So
it's
good.
so different now. You kind of forget, because I haven't had much barbecue meat lately, how different the flavour is. But Dougie, they have a big cook. Like once a month, and he'll do like...
because he's got a massive offset smoker, right?
Yeah, a couple of pork bellies, a couple of briskets, a couple of beef shorties, and then they vac pack it all in portions, so that for the rest of the month they've got barbecue meat they can just pull a portion out. So he pulled a portion of brisket, put a portion of brisket and the brisket jus down to Hawke's Bay, and I made a pulled brisket Benedict with a jalapeno hollandaise. Yes. Which I stole from the General, but it's just great. And with the barbecue brisket, it's a completely different flavour.
Delicious. Nice. Well, yep, that's my plate.
Okay, very good. All right, so with our new structure, we'll talk about food red flags.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, what's like a warning sign that you maybe shouldn't eat that or eat at that place?
Eat at that place.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Okay, so I've got some. Some of them might be controversial, but a skewer in a burger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think a burger should ever need a skewer.
If it's got a skewer, it's too big?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just it's all too much. Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe controversial. Okay. My next one is pictures on a menu.
Oh, come on! But what about it? What about dumplings?
Yeah,
that's literally the only way you can order.
Unless it's Chinese. If it's not Chinese and there's pictures on the menu,
it's a red flag.
It's a red flag.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But on that note, when you're going somewhere to order something, do you go on their Instagram and look at all their photos of the menus and then pick a menu based on the photos on Instagram?
They are not pictures of the menus, though. They are like pictures from people who've gone to eat there and put in an honest, like, that's what I got served.
Yep.
Like, oh, yeah, very different thing, I think. Yeah. But there are some catfish pictures out there.
Yep.
So those are my 2 red flags.
Nice.
I've got another thing to talk about. I don't know.
I've got a red flag.
Okay, good. What's your red flag?
If you start cooking something in a cold pan.
Oh yeah.
But I guess that's not like a restaurant red flag. That's a...
No, that's
if I go to someone's house
and they like chuck some chicken in a cold pan.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, you gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling so good.
Or you're like cooking mince on like a low to medium heat and it's like bubbling away in its own juices, not like frying off quickly.
Yes. Okay.
Those are my red flags.
Okay, fair enough. Do you know there are some things you should start in a cold pan though?
I just had this conversation with Ella.
Yes.
And because I literally saw on TikTok, I think it was Dobbers or Andy cooks starting a chicken breast in a cold pan. And I'm like...
Was it skin?
Yep.
Yeah, he's rendering the fat out.
Yep.
Yeah, so bacon you can do
in a cold
pan.
With water?
That's another controversial thing. I guess it's, everyone's got her own thing. I do it in a cold pan without. I actually often tell people to do cold bacon in a cold pan in their Kitco.
Right.
And it renders the fat out.
Yep.
It actually starts to build that coating on the cast iron.
Yep.
And then your bacon won't
just stick and go and fall apart.
And like mashed potato, you're always supposed to start in cold water.
Oh, boiling potatoes.
Yeah, you're supposed to put your potatoes in cold. Yeah. So there's a few exceptions to that rule, but yeah, very good.
Yep.
Red flags. New segment.
And spray oil.
Oh, okay.
It just makes me feel gross.
It is gross. Do you remember that
There's
time?
a time and a place.
Do you remember the time? I don't think you were there. You didn't work here then.
Nah, this was at the photo shoot.
Yeah.
And you went and coated a bunch of chicken with spray oil, but it was actually oven cleaner.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's put me off spray oil.
Yep.
There is a time and a place though, like for baking.
Oh yeah, like if you're gonna spray like a baking tray because you're doing a cake or something, or like, but then just like, no, I don't like.
You'd rather use a big block of butter and like rub the butter all.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
And like you're in the homestead.
Yep. But like, I think it's the smell.
Churn butter out.
I think it's the smell of the canola oil because most of them are just like a
yes, it is
average
gross.
cheap canola oil.
They are handy.
Can you get like nice spray olive oils?
Yeah, you can.
Because admittedly, if I was doing like roast veggies, it'd be way easier just to spray them rather than putting them into a bowl and shaking them around with oil.
I don't think there's ever nice spray oil to put on your food, but there is nicer spray oil to grease your trays and things with.
Right.
Yeah, spray oil shouldn't be really used on food.
Okay.
I'd just use it on a tray or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you have like a tray of potatoes that you're going to roast, you wouldn't spray oil on them.
No, I just grease the...
Either.
I'd often just put a spray oil to stick the bloody baking paper down and then put them on a baking paper.
Yep.
Yeah, but then baking things are...
So if you're roasting potatoes...
Pastry? I'd put it under my pastry in a kit coat. I'd do a good coating of spray oil under my pastry so it doesn't stick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Anyway, that's enough.
Okay, very good. Spray oil. Is that a red? That's a red flag.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. My next segment is things. Oh no, I have one more. One more red flag. Wine tasting machines.
What?
Have you ever seen these?
No.
Okay, so some places, we go to a vineyard and you're supposed to like get little tastings of everything, and you, I don't know, pay $30 a head or whatever. They've got machines that do it for you now. So you get a swipe card, and I think it's like $1 per little tasting
shot.
Yeah, and you go around the machines and you swipe your card and they give you a little tasting, and it's like being a jail cell. These machines are just awful. Like,
so it's like a vending machine.
It's like a vending machine
or like a
for
shot
wine
of
tasting,
wine.
but it takes the whole enjoyment out of the experience. There's
because
no
you
talking.
Need someone to tell you about it.
No, it's not even a night. I love watching wine being poured.
Yep.
It's just that is a red flag for a restaurant or a vineyard. I would say to have a wine tasting machine.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd be instantly on their wares, and I wouldn't be drawn to that one.
There you go. So what vineyard did you go to over the weekend?
No, we went to a few vineyards on the weekend. They didn't have any.
Oh, okay.
But we just discussed it. Was this in discussion?
It was a topic of
I'd seen them and no one likes them. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Nice.
Things that will be gone from the food world in 30 years' time is something that's been on my mind. And like, what will we actually never see again in 30 years' time? And I guess the same question is it like, what is it that old people eat, basically? Because...
that we don't eat.
That we are not going to pick up that trend.
Yep.
And the thing that started me thinking about this was walking past the muffin break in the mall.
The little cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's 1,000 muffins.
Yep.
And they got big blobs of icing on them. And I was like, who would go and buy a muffin?
From
From anywhere.
Old people.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I reckon Dad would love it.
There's probably people who would take their kids for maybe a muff or something, but it's just not, it's like a cake, but it's not as good.
Yep.
I don't know. To be fair, they're usually quite busy in the mall.
Yep.
They clearly turn over enough profit to be in all the malls.
Yep.
But I don't think that'll be a trend that'll stick around. I don't think that has the power to last through this generation.
It's always interested me because all of the malls, like, there's never a really good cafe in a mall.
No, there's never.
Why?
Because they need to be chain stores so that they can prop up and afford it. And people spend money there because it's in a mall. And
but then, like...
Isn't that sad, though?
Man,
It upsets me every single time I go to the mall because I'm like, I just want to go somewhere cool and like have a nice like Reuben sandwich or something. Like, I don't want to have...
Or even just like a nice coffee that's actually nice. Not a Starbucks.
Yeah, it's very, very sad, but I'm assuming it's literally a money thing. Yeah, you need to come from a big corporation to be able to afford more rent.
And so you go, no, fair, okay.
But I think that muffin break will possibly not stand the test of time.
Yep.
The next thing is roast shops.
Yep.
And I don't just mean because they're not just in the malls. There's like roast shops on the odd corner everywhere. Yep. And I could be wrong about this one, but I've never in my life gone to a roast shop and bought a roast dinner.
Yeah, neither.
If I'm going to buy a dinner, it'll be 100% like a pizza or even McDonald's.
Yep.
I've never bought a roast. Maybe I should start.
We should try it.
We should try it.
We should get a lunch catered here from a roast
shop.
See what it's like.
But they just.
What if it's amazing? We don't know. What if we're missing out on something?
Maybe it's great.
I mean, don't know.
What do you get? Because you see them in the mall. You got your gravy, your roast potatoes, which have definitely been deep fried. Carrots. Do they do
your pork crackling, which has probably been deep fried?
Pork crackling. Yeah.
I don't know.
They do roast meat sandwiches. I'd buy a roast meat sandwich.
Yep. But
not a roast meal. Will that be around in 30 years' time, the roast shop?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, neither.
Interesting.
We have to get people to vote on these things.
Okay.
Have
you put some up on Instagram?
I actually did, yeah. Do you want to read?
You have to do it on your phone. My phone's recording.
Okay. Someone said Lone Star, and I noted it down because if you're charging $52 for 12 ribs...
Yeah,
and I can go and have a 7-course degustation meal at Craigie Range, you are cancelled. Absolutely. Very interesting and controversial, but free-farmed fish from the ocean.
Yeah.
Because of pollution.
It's just not gonna happen anymore, is it?
Nah. And when I put this up, I didn't mean to have a serious conversation about it, but this keeps coming through, so we're going there.
Yep.
And that's very, very sad. The thought of that is so scary.
Isn't it interesting? Because I feel like I read somewhere about like salmon or something being one of the like highest yield of meat for like the input that it takes.
Yes.
Something I can't remember the exact word.
Yeah, you get a lot off of salmon.
And for the amount of like food that needs to be, the amount of energy that you have to put into growing them, it's really,
Yeah, very interesting. So do we just see less and less? Someone said scallops. New Zealand scallops. So they're closing all the scallop beds in Nelson.
Wow.
Yeah, so that might be on its way out. I didn't know that. On its way out. The rest of the things. This is from the listeners.
Yeah.
Fruitcake, Christmas cake.
Yes.
Yes, they can actually.
They can have a day off.
That can have a day off.
Our grandma used to make fruitcake every year.
Yeah, she doesn't do it anymore, eh?
Because she found the previous year's fruitcake still in a tin on top of our fridge.
Yeah, it's just one of those things you don't need.
And not mouldy.
No, amazing. Yeah, I definitely don't like it. I don't know anyone who does like it. Whitebait, I don't know the reasoning for that, but it probably makes sense. Smorgasbords or buffets after COVID, they can absolutely leave. Anna, I hope smoothie bowls die. Me
Interesting.
Too. I hope smoothie bowls die too. They can absolutely leave and not come back. I do like the acai.
Oh yes, yep.
Because it's kind of like ice cream, and
it's like a
I don't know if we even have them in New Zealand, but you can add your toppings. You can add like yogurt, peanut butter, nuts, granola, banana, strawberries onto your
little bowl.
Layered cup. It's an ice cream cup though. It's not a bowl. Bowls are not easy to eat. Doesn't make sense. I don't like them.
You used to make quite a lot of them.
Smoothie bowls?
Yeah.
No, I've only made like 3 because I was trying to be cool on Instagram like 6 years ago. But now I am cool on Instagram, so I don't need to make smoothie bowls anymore.
Fair.
Tash, I hope those dairy food, like those weird little bottles of puddings, like yogurt, but puddings.
Yep.
They call them dairy food.
Yep.
I haven't seen that around in a long time.
It's just like yogurt, isn't it?
It's like kids. It's like thickened. It's quite American, like a pudding.
Like a custard.
Yeah, I'd probably eat one of those.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
I kind of want one.
And those little yogurt things with the little bits that you like fold over into.
Oh,
it's
those
almost
are mean.
One of them.
Nah, they're mean.
Yeah, but that's yogurt, isn't it?
That's yogurt with toppings.
Yep. I was going more down the track of I was thinking more down the track of the convenience. Like if I think of, I guess grandma, she's still baking her own bread, but I've baked like one loaf of bread in my life. Like standard bread that you're going to toast.
Yeah, right.
But
no, I think bread baking is
no. I think bread baking will still be around forever.
Yeah. But do you mean like in a bread baking machine for people who make a loaf every morning?
I'm not talking about your focaccia. I'm talking about
I know.
I'm going to bake bread for my sandwich today. I can't, or is normal like a rice cooker is going to be extinct because everyone can microwave it in little bags. You know?
Well, we've got that we're going that way, but then we're also going the complete opposite way in that we're buying refillable raw split peas and dried beans and things, and we're keeping them all in a jar in our pantry.
Yeah.
Like even I've got those jars full in my pantry, but then I don't use them.
Yeah.
So I've got half full bags that are used in the
frozen
bottom,
peas,
but then I've got a display of glass jars that because I don't go to the bin in to take my reusable jars. But a lot of people are going that way, so it could go either way.
Interesting, eh?
Maybe
that was sort of my thought when you mentioned that. I was like, that's my thought of like, where are we going with convenience? I was thinking about like Japan, where you can go to a vending machine, you can buy a roll of sushi that's wrapped in like 10 layers of plastic.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's convenience. In my mind, like we're going to be moving more towards that. So is there a way that we get that convenience without the
plastic
or the offset of like...
Well, you don't. I think there'll be some sort of crash in my prediction, like with global warming and like some sort of mass realization that the planet's actually screwed and we'll all have to go back. Like,
and we will be baking
and then we will all be baking our own bread. Like maybe we lose electricity. Maybe, you know, like those doomsday movies.
Yeah.
I love, like, I reckon that's going to happen.
Yeah, you're a bit of a prepper
I'm
at
such
heart,
I am 100% doomsayer.
Yeah.
I've got a secret room in my new house.
I know.
Safe room. Always wanted a bunker
Gotta
underground.
put some shelves up and put all your tin cans in there.
And I have a grab and go suitcase. Like I could live, I reckon, for like 3 months at my house without anything. I had 3 gas cookers. Yeah.
Mind you, we've got a couple of them.
I think that I have a fear of like earthquakes, and there is a 75% chance that Alpine fight will go the fault line, the big one, will go in the next 50 years. Yeah. So in our lifetime, we will 75% see that, and that could it most likely will destroy majority of our country.
This got deep. Let's go back to food.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay. What food? What's next?
Okay. Tash reckons luncheon sausage. I don't mind a luncheon sausage sometimes.
That can be extinct.
That can be extinct.
Yeah,
okay. What about a little small red sausage? We like those.
Oh, Savoys we love.
Savoys are staying.
Oh.
All of them think the lack of action on climate change is very true. A lot of people saying like Burger King, KFC, McDonald's, those things will never die. They will just I don't think so.
And that goes down to the whole convenience thing. I think we're too lazy.
And we become addicted to them. Yep. It's very addictive food.
Very.
Yeah, must be worse than like cigarettes, like Coke, and I don't think it's MSG because I love MSG, but there's no MSG in them.
No, it's
but
just
there's something
addictive.
Yeah, about those flavors of those. Okay, all right. So then the next question is what's going to die, what we don't want to see, and what's going to come back. What will we be seeing that's coming back from like the 50s, 60s, 70s? And I've already started to see so much stuff now that we're all poor. Yeah. Like so much stuff starting to come back. We talked about tin tuna last week, and I reckon that is on the rise. A tuna melt. Yep. Tin tuna will be back. The Reuben sandwich. Yep. Corned beef. That is back massively.
Oh, I hate corned beef though.
Do you like Reuben sandwiches though? No. Okay.
I couldn't tell Mum that though.
No.
Sorry, Mum.
Okay. Well,
I don't like that type of beef though. It's not. One of the things that I was going to put in a red flag is poaching stuff because I just don't like it.
Aside from an egg. Yeah. Like chicken or.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't often poach stuff.
It just makes I don't know. There's something about it that's weird. Anyway, going
red
back.
Flag. That is probably
what's going to come back.
Flag. What's going to come back? Okay, I had cheese souffle down.
I've never had it.
No, I had one in Marlborough like 6 months ago at a little winery, and they're famous for their cheese souffle. I was like, that could come back. Not something I've seen in forever. Chicken liver parfaits come back with a vengeance. Yep. Cheese souffle I think might be next to come back. Tuna melts. The cob loaf.
Yep.
Is back. It is back.
Man, now I really want a cob loaf.
Did
like
it
the
ever
spinach
leave?
dip in the middle.
Yeah, the spinach dip. Yeah. We have so many variations in the club, but the cob loaf. Oh, I reckon we might start seeing it in restaurants again soon.
That'd be crack.
Following on from the cob loaf, the cheese ball. That's not something I've really ever made, but it may follow on from the cob loaf. Yeah. Yeah. So you mix like cream cheese and different cheeses and then you coat it and stuff and then you put it on your platter.
Oh,
no, it's like
it's like a dip.
Yeah, but it's firm.
Right.
You sort of smear it.
Right. So instead of a wheel of brie or whatever, you'd
mix
put a ball.
Right. We did a Christmas one for the club and we rolled it in cranberries and pistachios.
Yes.
It was beautiful red and green crusted cheese ball.
Yep.
And the baked potato. Yep. And the baked potato has come back in a huge way. They have full baked potato restaurants all over America now.
Yep.
And they're so cool.
Yep.
You take the potato,
whip it all out,
whip the
and
filling
mix all
with
the
butter and
things.
cheese, and then you can add like your bacon bits, spring onions. Oh, this one's like a nacho chili beef potato, and you get them and off you go.
Yep.
I think that's cool. I'd like to see one of those in New Zealand. Maybe we should start one.
Baked potato truck.
Yeah.
There used to be one in Hamilton, eh? I don't know. It's probably
Did
still
there?
there.
Really?
In the Garden Square or Garden Place. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So that's mine. What did you have any?
Oh, yeah, nothing.
Well, let's turn to the listeners.
Yep.
Prunes wrapped in bacon coming back. I don't see that happening, but sausages. There seem to be so many recipes utilising sausages in different ways now. Yes,
I think
that's true.
Yeah. And especially when you think about the climate and the price of stuff.
Yep.
Sausages.
Yep, very much so. And you can add a lot of flavour from just a couple of sausages.
But sausages are not like cheap anymore either.
Good sausages are not cheap, but I actually just got I went quarters with my friends in a beast.
That's right, yeah.
And I've got 5 kilos of sausages coming. But the meat worked out at $6 a kilo.
Far out.
So that's less than half of what the supermarket's charging.
For like a cheap mince.
If we start to see people going that way, which might make sense, we're going to be seeing more mince, more sausage meat, more schnitzel, and more big cuts of beef.
Yeah, slow cooker roast kind of things that can break down.
And $6 a kilo is
decent.
A third of the price of vegetables. So
freezer space.
I know. I cleared out my deep freeze today. Yeah, I'm quite excited because I've never had half a beast before. And you can select what you want. Didn't select, I didn't want patties. There was heaps of stuff I didn't want. But then I'm going to have all this schnitzel. So
I used to love schnitzel.
Same.
Yep.
Hey, when was the last time you did beef schnitzel?
Can't remember. Cannot remember.
Beef schnitzel's coming back.
Yep.
It is coming back. There was such a shame. There was a little schnitzel restaurant in town, and they just did schnitzels, and you could choose chicken, beef, or pork, and then you choose your sauces like mushroom, peppercorn, lemon butter, or just fresh lemon, and I was like, that's great. And it shut down because no one ever went there, but it might have been before his time.
Okay.
And not quite cool yet, but schnitzel's coming back.
Nice.
Sandwiches in general. Sandwiches are back in a huge way. Those big fat filled sandwiches.
I've never liked sandwiches.
Really?
Yeah.
What about we keep talking about Lloyd's, we need to go there, and those sort of Turkish breads with pulled chicken and coles lettuce and sort of heaps of pastrami. There's heaps of sandwiches. Sandwiches are back. And that sandwich guy you like on TikTok.
Yep. But I guess sandwich in my mind is a little bit different than that.
Olive oil and balsamic to dip with bread at restaurants instead of butter. I've not seen that yet. Everywhere I've been has butter. At Craigie Range, they served us a camembert butter with a potato focaccia. That
would have been yum.
It was everything was outrageous. It was so good. Yeah, lots of cob loaf, low and slow cooked meat. New Zealand kids party food, cheese and pineapple, jelly oranges. I've not seen that back yet, but I'd be keen to bring that back. Okay. That's that segment done.
Enough.
What's coming back?
What was next?
I just had 2 things to cancel this week.
Okay.
3.
Yep.
Yeah. Are we getting a bit negative?
That's okay. People seem to love that.
2 cancel this week. Room temperature water. I am done with it. When you go to restaurants...
Go and get an ice machine.
And they're like, oh no, it helps your digestion. No. Have a day off. It's not helping absolutely anything. Go and buy some ice.
Yep.
You're being lazy.
Yep.
It's not okay. I do not want room temperature water.
No, put your
They do it
glass
at the best
bottle.
Restaurants.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. Vineyards and stuff. No. It needs to be half ice, half water for me.
Yep.
That I don't, I'll write a terrible review if I have room temperature water, not for me.
What about sparkling water? Spicy water?
Yeah, I don't particularly like it either, but all my friends drink it, and I feel like
I'm a fan. I'd never pay extra for it from the bottle,
most
those places have it on tap now.
Yeah, they do. Everywhere I went on the weekend had both. And I hate everyone has I just feel like it fills up my stomach if I'm eating a big meal.
Yep, maybe.
I'm I need still water.
Yeah, okay.
But I do.
I'm a fan.
I'm coming around.
Spicy water.
Of the spicy water. Okay. Chinese buffet containers where you get
and you just
squish
smush
the
them
food
in.
down and you get your lemon tree and squish it and
bulging out the
you
top.
get your egg foo young and smush it all and you try and fit enough for 6 stomachs in one container until you have
just like breaking up the little like samosas and spring rolls into the corners.
A little wonton on the top.
Yes.
And prawn crackers going to be dissolved.
Oh.
That
takes me back to childhood.
can go.
No.
It's gone.
No.
That's not okay. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the food. Just you don't need to compact it like it looks like it's already been in your stomach.
Yep.
You don't need to compact your food like that. It's not okay.
And then the sweet and sour sauce gets over everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we need to cancel that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what do? You just go to a Chinese restaurant and eat and get it all you can eat with a plate?
Yeah, because you get all you can eat with a plate if you sit in there. Yep. And if you're taking it away, you know you're not going to enjoy those leftovers next day. You know you're not.
You have to,
you know that's going to go in the bin, most of them.
Nuclear bomb them.
Just put a reasonable amount in your container. Maybe just pick 2 or 3 options, not 17. That would be my recommendation.
Okay. I got one here. This will be interesting. 0% spirits. Like not the premixes, not like 0% beer or 0%, cans of stuff, because I can understand that. But if you're making like a nice drink and you're like, I want this to taste like gin, but I don't want the alcohol. Here's my 0% gin in a bottle that's just flavoured water and I'm going to put it... Why? I don't like it.
Well, it's for alcoholics, I guess, who would still like the process of doing that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a very hard concept to grasp.
Yeah.
If I'm not drinking, I quite like soda water with a squeeze of lime.
Or just make the drink and just don't put anything in it that's trying to like...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Recreate the flavour. It's a very weird concept. Apparently there's one that's out that's actually really good.
Yeah.
And Yvonne was telling me about it. And she said the funniest thing is they take the alcohol that they distill out of it and they make this amazing new gin, which is used from the discard of the non-alcoholic gin.
Yeah.
They have all this amazing gin.
So it
It's
just...
used as new gin. So
maybe we need to go into that business then. Maybe we don't cancel it. Maybe we start a new business.
it's pretty interesting, isn't it? I think the cost of it is where you stumble because like $60 for a bottle of non-alcoholic spirit.
I know, and it's like they're masking the alcohol flavour with other flavours, which is just way too intense.
Yeah, it is a very funny concept. That can probably go. The last thing I have, which is going to be massively controversial.
Here we go.
No one's going to like this. No one's actually probably going to agree with me. The massive filled donuts with the injection in the side.
With the syringe.
Yeah. Whenever I go anywhere, people are like, go to this place and get one of the donuts.
Yeah, or like the milkshakes that are just like piled with stuff on top. Oh, the freak shakes.
Yeah.
Those kind of
I don't know. I've never eaten one.
Okay.
I don't have a sweet tooth.
Yep.
I don't really like donuts.
Yep.
I don't really like the idea of a plastic skewer sticking out the side filled with Nutella or something. I'd rather just have a beautiful little pastry or something, like a little...
Or like a little sweet
bite.
thing.
Like, more is not always more when it comes to sweets.
Yep. I've learnt that over Easter.
Yes. I think those can go. I mean, there's obviously a market for them, but it's not for me. I'm just going to put it on the table.
Okay, here we go.
Think about
Get some hate.
Yep.
What about tinned potatoes?
I've never tried one.
Neither. I saw a friend of mine put it up on Instagram, being like, what is the purpose of these? And they're like whole potatoes that are just in tins.
Jordan Whittaker got into them a few years ago. She
really?
was like, and then everyone got into them because they're like, oh, these tinned potatoes, and you just drain them and put them in the frying pan and roll them back. So they're like poached.
Okay.
And you can just put man grind in them, fry them with butter, and they're done like 2 minutes later.
I guess like sort of shallow, buttery, fried sort of.
If you're camping, maybe.
Yeah, but then do you want to like just like peel stuff onto the ground and have no rubbish, or do you want to take tins out with you?
True. I don't know. Jordan tried to bring them back. I haven't seen them around lately though, so the trend clearly didn't take off.
Nice.
Yep. That can go.
Yep.
They can definitely go.
Nice.
Okay. I think that was all. I think that was all for my segments this week.
Cool. Okay, well, we'll call out a supplier here. This week we're just giving a shout out to Charlie Hu in Taupō. They're in town on Te Huhu Street. And they're just a cool little boutique sort of clothing store, gifty store. And they're a cool stockist of ours, so if you're in Taupō, check them out.
They're great stockists. It's a great shop.
Yep.
I love buying clothes there.
Nice.
Very good.
Nice.
Are you going to call someone today?
Yeah, I do. I've got a phone number.
Okay.
Can I have your phone?
Yep.
So this podcast is sponsored by Pepper and Me, and every week those that order using the discount code Cherie sucks go in the draw to win their order refunded back to them.
Who have we got this week?
Today we have Linda. And so we're going to call Linda on speakerphone. Hopefully she answers, and we're going to refund her order.
Do many people use that discount code?
A few people.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Linda speaking.
Hey Linda, it's Lorne and Cherie here from Pepper and Me. How's it going?
Hi, good. Yourself?
Yeah, good. Hey, thanks for using the Cherie Sucks discount code. We're thrilled to let you know that you are this week's winner for the podcast, and your order's going to be refunded.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And refunded as in you get it for free. We still send it to you. We're not just cancelling it.
Oh, good as gold. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. Love listening to your podcast. It's great.
Oh.
Keep up the good work.
Thanks so much. We love recording them.
Thank you.
Awesome. Cool. No worries. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Cheers, bye. There we go.
Very
Happy days,
good.
Linda, and I guess we'll see everyone next week.
Yes. Very good. All right. Thanks. Thanks for listening to the Pepper and Me podcast, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're interested in any of the products that we're talking about, you'll find us at pepperandme.co.nz.